Hey guys, Glenn here. I've got the Yamaha EX carb set here, and I've got a couple of screws that stripped out on me. I was trying to take them out, and not enough space. Let me show you. There's an L bracket. Just tighten up a little bit. This bracket right here holds all four together, and the screw that was here and this one, both of these stripped out. They are JIS screws, they're not Phillips, but those were, where are you? There you are. You can see how it's stripped out. What I'm going to do is take the TIG. I got some 16th ERS 702, I think. Yeah, 70S2. I'm just going to pile that up there so I can, high enough so I can get vice grips on it, and it should come loose. The help from the torch actually helps release the threads too, because I actually tried torching this with the propane torch, and I used PB Blaster, and neither one of those would release it. So let's stick a wart on it, see if we can hook straight here. We got gas. Didn't it here? We're gonna need more penetration than that. Nice little metal snowman though. Try again. You gotta hold it down with the screw a little longer. It looks a little better fusion. Let's see. Yep. Pair of pliers. On the way to unscrew it with pliers. handle spread so wide on this, it's awkward to use it. Let me flip it down and twist it. Ta-da. Easy enough? Gotta get new ones anyway. Now, both rails are off. I just gotta pull them apart now. There it goes. Man, was that seized in there. Guess we'll be getting a new one of those. It's a drain, ball drain screw. Seized and stripped. The O-ring is trashed. Actually, it's not too bad. That's going in the trash regardless. Now for number 2, if we got enough left on the battery here, looks like the battery did. See if we can get this one, the last one. Enough grip on that one. Pop that one loose. Yep, there it goes. There we go. Those two are going in the trash. Now to get them cleaned up. Let's try this again. Okay, so what we got here, we've got the 550 head. I've already put in new stem seals and have the valves. Everything's been buffed and cleaned on the other side, and I'm finishing up the valve train work here. So we've got the intake cam here. This was micropeened from WPC treatment, and if we can look at the texture, it's a very neat matte finish. It does not change the physical dimensions of the part. Your journals and bearings are mechanically measured the same. The difference is that there's tiny little dents or dimples where the micrograins hit the metal, and it reduces friction by, from what I've seen, it's at least 50% without lubrication. Definitely will last. This camshaft will outlast the journals in the head, so it's worth the investment. We're going to put this in and we're going to test with plastigauge our cap to journal clearance, cam journal clearance. And one way to know which way this goes in, there's kind of two ways. On this head, you have a cap on each side of the sprocket. One has a journal, one does not. This is not actually holding the cam, it just holds the valve cover down. So one side will have rough casting, one side will be smooth with an oiling port. Additionally, one end of the camshaft will have an oiling groove with a large port, and that will coincide on the head with a large cutout, circular with a long slot, and there'll be a hole down and through the head. That lines up with this. That supplies oil from the head through the camshaft galley and comes out each of the oiling ports for the journals. So let's do this side first. You can also tell from the caps that mechanically or dimensionally they're exactly the same, but you don't want to mix them up, especially with this one having wear on it. You'll see one that has a really shiny center line and then it's been gaued a little bit on the outsides. That's the one where your oiling channel is, not the other end. You want those to match up. So we got our collars in here. We're going to have to turn this so that we can get this, I'll put it on there with this right angle. Make sure that this cap is going to sit flush. Because as it is right now, this lobe is trying to push that intake. And we're not going to be able to do this one. We'll have to do this one, then we'll try and do this one. If I can get it in between all the lobes. I think we can. It's going to be probably right across here, but we'll see. 7.2 foot-pounds, or about 86 inch-pounds is the torque spec. Let's make sure all of these are going to go where they're supposed to. Threads seem good. Alright. Now, we need a piece of plastigauge that's up to the maximum. I've got a set, a Mopar set here, whatever you can find on eBay. Let's see, we're going to need cam to cap clearance. Standard is 800 thousandths to 21 thousandths, or 0.02, 0.04 millimeter. Maximum is up to 0.006. So basically, you want something between 0.02 and 0.06 inches, or a half to 1/10 of a millimeter. So let's see what we got. We want the higher end. Smush it. Let's see, red is, let's see, so we got blue is 0.025 to 0.76 millimeter. We want 54 thousandths to 160 thousandths. So that's going to be between green and blue. Figures. Let's start with the blue. You know what? Let's start with the smallest first and see how much crush we get out. Let's do green first. And if it completely obliterates it, we'll use blue. Got two of them here. Alright, as you can see, what we got there. Some of it fell out. It's a little plastic filament. Get it back in this plastic holder here. We just need enough to cover. We need just enough to cover the width of the journal. So we need a piece like about, stick your finger on there and pinch it off. Like that. And we want that just to sit there just like that. Get back in your sleeve. Okay. So now we're going to take the cap. You don't want to roll the cam, and you don't want to roll or slide the cap when you do this. Put it straight down, and we're going to crank it down to 86 inch-pound. Let's see where we at here. 80. That's 86. All right. So much fun. Then we get to do this to every one of them, and then we get to check lobe to tap it, or lobe to bucket, or lobe to shim, or whatever. Since every one of these has a shim in it. Just snugging them down. There, you just feel it. This one doesn't actually snap, you just feel it break. There it goes. That's it. Now we gotta back them off. See what kind of green splatter we got. Definitely do not want to over tighten these, especially with an aluminum head, because it'll just pull them out. Then you'll be using time search to repair it. Which I have had to do in automotive heads. Squishy, squishy. It is on the lower end. The squish is like the width of the white space there is 0.076 millimeters. This plastigauge wants to escape and get away because it's known I'm going to crush it. It knows its destiny. Stay. So that puts us where? 0.076 puts us at about halfway in between standard and max. So that one's fine. Actually, let's measure the journals while we're here. So let's get journal. So it's less than an inch. So this one won't fit. the 0 to 1. Alright, so that is 1 inch right there. And that would be 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 983. Right at spec. Alright, so that one's a little, there we go. 983. Oh, that's a lobe. 983. 983. 983. 983. Alright, so that one is fine. I mean, they didn't really show any specs on the valves. I mean, I can come back later with the hole tool if we need to change the shim and we need to measure it. I'm just going to go ahead and put the caps on and be done with it. Make sure they're clean. There's no grit or stuff in there. We need some assembly lube. Ames oil, good stuff. Very, very sticky. Probably don't need that much at all, but that's how much came out. Make sure all those surfaces get covered. Excuse me. What am I doing? I need to put it in all the valleys. Is it Monday night or something? Because I ain't hitting on much tonight. I don't want that freaking much. It's just coming out. I guess the more the better. I mean, the stuff does stick, but it doesn't stick there forever. Eventually it'll actually start sliding down. trying my patience tonight. Done. This side anyway. Flip it around. And there's your worm gear for the tack gear. So let's wipe these caps off. Repeat the process over here. That cap actually doesn't look very good right there. I think I'm gonna grab the other exhaust. 4M cap. Alright, so the number 4 exhaust cap that came with this looked good. That's not good. That right there. See the pitting? It's deep. I can't use that. Hopefully this one, after having been wait a minute, there it is, number 4 exhaust. After having been buffed from the other head, it has some scoring in it. It's a little smoother, quite a bit smoother. I can't really feel this. I can feel some of the scratches very lightly. But with the camshaft being WPC treated, I don't think it'll be too much of an issue as far as wear. I definitely will have to check it down the road. But first we need to make sure that the gap after, first of all, using a different cap from a different head on here may work, may not work. So then I used some 1200 grit to give it a buff, and we'll see how much that changed dimensionally for it. Let's check the center cap here. It looks okay as is. Alright. Down it goes. one. That one feels okay, looks okay as well. Alright. Let's check number 4 first, since this one is probably going to be the worst. Let's go ahead and crank the other ones down. Just do a piece all the way across. Yeah, it's a little too long, but I don't really care. And we have 0.051. I've already forgotten the spec. It's 0.05, 0.054 is just at the bottom of standard. So that's still within standard clearance. So we're good here. Alright, let's install cat gear. Go. And then this has a key. There's a notch here, and then there's a tab on the side of this that you have to line up in order to lock it in place. So that needs to be turned down just a little bit. Just like that. The O-ring seemed okay. There's an O-ring on the inside bore of this where the pinion gear goes in, and then there's one on the outside of this for the hole for the head. Both of those seemed okay, but we'll check it for leaks once we get it running. Oh, what's left to do now? Put it on the block. And then set the timing. Ready to go. A little bit too many. I'll have to clean all that off before we put the head gasket on. Well, that's it. Ready to go.